Troy corrected Sawyer based on his estimate, and Troy's estimates are really accurate, usually for production especially. It is now officially official that the Tesla Model Y was not only just the best-selling vehicle, but also the most produced vehicle in 2023, overtaking the Toyota RAV4 and Ford F-Series trucks. So the number is actually closer to 1.2 million than 1.137 million. And all other vehicles did not even reach 1 million. The Tesla Model 3 was number 10, and there was a BYD vehicle as well on the list. Number 9, the BYD Song. Well, this is quite impressive, I would say. Earlier, before these last V12 versions, we would not see FSD updates this often. There's another update already rolling out. Well, it's planned for this weekend, so it's about to roll out. And of course, the V12.3 rollout continues, and people are pretty happy with what we're seeing. I'm blown away after 2+ hours driving tonight with 0 disengagements. That's incredible. He even goes as far as saying it is arguably Tesla Full Self-Driving V1.0, no beta. Now, I haven't driven it myself, because I don't have it yet. But based on what other people are saying, I would say it's certainly impressive, but I would still definitely say it's in beta. He's been a heavy user of FSD beta over the last few years. And V11 had made it often annoying to use in daily driving context, specifically in his local area, but those issues were erased with FSD V12.3 in an instant. He observed a few minor issues, but these look pretty small to me. If you have FSD, check your car right now because the largest deployment of FSD beta is happening at the moment. And I just checked if I have FSD V12, and if you guessed that I have it now, you're wrong. And Bradford just got the newest FSD version on his personal Model Y. During most of the trips, so most of the clips that we have seen were on 12.2.1, but he also rented out a vehicle which already had V12.3. About 25% of the vehicles now can get V12.3, so definitely check your vehicle. James shared a profound post. Maybe we have reached this point and maybe the stock will actually respond to it. Weirder things have happened. Tesla investors, and this is negative delivery growth, revenue and earnings growth, no new models for the next 2 years, FSD. At some point, that meme is going to be right. I don't know exactly which year, but I think Farzad has a good point. It's only weird if you haven't been paying attention. Dr. Know-It-All also shared an FSD update based on his driving experience. He says it's not perfect, mostly too wussy on speed limits, but it's impressive and it will definitely pass the spouse test. Now, the next version should fix the issues with the speed. As a Canadian, though, Elon, please send us FSD too. Why are you leaving us alone? Here's another FSD 12.3 review, and he has not been exactly very nice about FSD 11. He said V11 was absolute dog poop. But after driving on FSD 12.3, his simple reaction is, holy moly. And his long reaction, I guess, is holy moly. Elon Musk and Tesla AI, you have truly outdone yourselves. Color me beyond impressed with the actions of 12.3. I tested 3 of my loops in Morgantown, West Virginia. As I was passing through, I will describe in detail those loops. You would not be able to tell the difference between human and the machine. Roundabouts are pristine, and the whole evening it was flawless. No interventions necessary. And before, he never used FSD on loop 3 because it would be quite dangerous to use it. But FSD performed flawlessly and his jaw dropped. Alright, well, when you see people that were critical of FSD before and now they're positive, you know something seriously changed. Now I'm even more excited about FSD V12. I'm trying to keep my expectations relatively low. I still expect interventions and things like that when I drive it, but I'm getting really excited now. And he has driven over 20,000 miles on FSD. I certainly have not driven that many miles on FSD. AI Driver has some of the best FSD videos. Check them out if you haven't yet. His hot take number 2, I believe in the short term it's possible that accidents on FSD increase even though the system is technically safer than than ever. I'll be the first to admit something most people don't want to. V12 feels so capable and smooth that I sometimes find myself getting a little too relaxed. I'm going on 2 days with no interventions, besides parking 2 days. Well, that's incredible. Not super tough scenarios, just driving around my local area, but still, 2 days. It can be challenging to stay vigilant when the car has handled everything perfectly and smoothly for literal days with zero issues. I'm still in slight shock that he went for 2 days with no interventions. I assume he drove for multiple hours. I assume it's not just, oh, I drove 15 minutes one day and then 15 minutes another day. I assume he's driving quite a bit. He continues, I'm also using it more than ever in areas that I probably would have not tried on older versions, and I have a feeling other people will be doing the same thing. For example, on FSD 11 before, if I had to merge in a tricky situation and the cars are not letting me in, no way I'm using FSD. But maybe with V12 I don't know. I mean, why not use it in downtown San Francisco or some confusing looking area I am not familiar with? It seems more competent than most Uber drivers. Those are things I would have never said about V11, and it scares me a bit. Crazy this is happening right now a lot sooner than I think any of us expected. Stay safe out there, everyone. Farzad 100% agrees with AI driver. Tesla's FSD is getting so good that it will lull you into a false sense of security. This is by far the most dangerous phase of FSD's rollout. For the next 12 to 24 months, Tesla needs to be supremely careful. Yeah, so this is a bit of a warning for Tesla. You're doing great. We love you, but just be extra careful. And we have all known that James is extremely skeptical about FSD and he's not bullish about it, but look at what he's saying now. The response feedback to V12.3 is almost unanimously good from what I have been able to gather. I'm starting to think that the odds of Tesla actually delivering on this are higher than I had given them credit for just a couple of weeks ago. We'll keep watching and reading. One time I remember James feeling quite bullish about Tesla was last year in January, right after Tesla did massive price cuts and then Tesla suddenly rallied higher. So James certainly has some credibility here. And before Tesla stock went down to about $100, James sold his Tesla stock position, if I remember correctly, at under $200, a little bit under $200. It was a pretty good move that he made. Now, I personally don't do that because I don't want to miss on the potential massive sudden rally, but it has worked out for James so far. Here's another person, wow, blown away. Been testing beta since 2020 and FSD V12.3 is a step function improvement. Each and every single complaint I have had is gone. Never had a drive with 0 interceptions. I have driven it 3 times with 0 interceptions. Great job, Elon Musk. I had to remove privacy settings simply to tell the world how blown away I am. My wife, a generally nervous passenger, couldn't tell I wasn't driving. Okay, this is getting a bit out of control. I need to find people that are having bad experiences with FSD now. If you are on V12.3 and you had a bad experience, like a terrible experience, please comment down below. I want to hear from you and I want to see your drives. Because it does not seem to be a common experience. Maybe everyone is just colluding with each other. Oh, only show the positive things, don't show the negatives. I don't know. Probably not, but things are just looking really good. Except for us Canadians who get excluded from these FSD releases. But I have some good news for my Canadian friends. A Tesla Model Y with Texas manufacturer place has been spotted this afternoon in Vancouver. We believe this car is here to help test FSD Beta V12.3 for a Canadian release. Oh, I know this exact street and where it is. How long though will I need to wait? From Teslascope, we are learning that Canada is probably just a week behind the US release, so this should be good news. Omar is rallying Tesla investors. If you can afford it, please buy FSD or subscribe to support the team. We need to show Wall Street that people want this and believe in it. When it gets to the point that attention is no longer required, today's price will look cheap. I think he's talking about both FSD and the stock. Convince your friends and family too.